What's up, you little Christmas criminals, bruh? Huh? You little pancake Neanderthals. You guys ready, bruh? Are you ready, man? Jesus back. You feel him? JC in the building. Hallelujah. Man, look at that hair coming in hot today, boy. Damn, I'm feeling a warm front on my scalp, daddy. I got that freaking Kate Gosselin bangs with that caramel apple back slap on the neck. I'm feeling fired up, man. Happy Easter to everybody. You guys ready? I'm ready. Welcome to This Past Weekend. This Past Weekend. Came upon a story in an old-time magazine. That is Born and Graced, man. That is Born and Graced. And that is music. And that is, that's two things that I feel like I am, dude. You know, you don't have to be religious, to have faith, I don't think. And I don't think you have to be religious to feel born. Because, you're obviously born, dude. Prove you weren't born. Okay? Show me pictures of, let's say, your baby crib with nobody in it. Doubtful. And also graced, man. If I look around in my life enough, man, I feel that I've been graced. I feel that I've been graced, man. I know I've made a lot of poor choices that haven't ruined me, that I've been able to bounce back from. I've had a lot of experiences that weren't good, that I've been able to bounce back from. I've been forgiven by people for wrongs that I've started, that I've created, that I've done, and I feel graced, man. I'm offered grace daily. Daily, I'm offered grace. I'm graced with the ability to be out here on Earth, dude. Think about that. Okay. Try existing on another planet, okay? People are always saying, well, life isn't a miracle and it's science. Bitch, okay? Mars, dude. We can't find a motherfucker on Mars. They're always out there taking footprints from 70 miles away and telling us it's something. Dude, you can eat a can of fucking Russian piss with all that. I don't believe that, dude. Until they find a young buck or somebody out there doing sex on another planet. Man, I'm just saying, we're graced, bro. We're graced with the opportunity to be here on Earth. And that's what I'm feeling, man. Happy Easter. Happy Easter to you guys. It is, let me see the date here. It's Monday now, April 17th. And it is 2017 is the year. And we're still here. We're still here. There's been a lot of things that they say could get rid of us. I think people were a little worried. North Korea could be one of them, but them dudes can't get it up. Okay? Huh? Them North Koreans can't get it up. They can't get erect. They just basically doing a little bit of light Easter fireworks. When y'all shouting out at the mouth, but y'all can't pop off. And I've had experience with that. Definitely some times in my life where I couldn't get physically erect, erectile in the dick and the lower penis. And one time I remember feeling very embarrassed with this young gal. I don't remember her name, kind of taller, big shoulders, had kind of the shoulders of a man really, and the rest of more of a woman's body elsewhere. And I was really struggling with some erection. And she's like, well, I have a friend that can definitely get you erect. And I was, weary about it because I'm already 0 for 1 sitting there with this, a little bit of a blondzilla, a little bit of a blonde squatch. She was definitely, she could play tight end for maybe a 10 and 11-year-old boys team. And but she was of age, she was over 18, but I'm just saying with her, size and kind of, she had a lot of might, upper might around the collarbone. And she could have really set it off, I think, there in for a boys team around the 10 and 11-year-old age range. But anyhow, so she phoned a friend, dude. She got all game show on me. She phoned a friend, this redheaded gal who was kind of tatted up, and she came over, and both of them tried to really get me erect for a while, and that didn't pan out. So that was just double the disappointment, some shame really I felt. And, I didn't want to let the second girl down. That was really, I felt like she was letting the second girl down via my erection or lack of. But that was kind of a trying time. But anyway, man, happy Easter, dude. I'm coming to you guys from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I hope that you guys had some opportunity to spend time with family or friends. If this audio isn't really solid, well, guess what, dude? You can eat a fucking small bag of cat cocks because I'm doing the best I can. I literally have my microphone set up on a cookie tray, and I'm doing the best I can here from my brother's home in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. We'll get into some personal stuff here. I'm going to come in at 9 months sober when you hear this. And I know some of you guys party and, do acid and, are doing types. I know some kids are doing bud acid now where they're doing LSD and they're, suppository type of deal. What else? Boofing. That's blowing cocaine in your butt. And you can watch that on YouTube if you want to see some of that, what the kids are doing. I know that some people are doing other types of things, blindfolding themselves and getting high and, jogging and shit like that. But I'm not doing that right now. I'm just, I decided I'm going to stay drug-free for a while. So that's where I'm at in my life. I don't judge anybody that can still party at this moment. Hell, I've done some I'm in Baton Rouge right now. First time I ever tried some cocaine was over here in beautiful Baton Rouge, Louisiana, I think. And I went for a run. I thought it was a performance enhancer. I'd heard that. And I guess at the time I was training for a half marathon. And so I caught me a couple of grams of, that white donkey dust, a little bit of brain kick. And I went for the longest run I've ever ran. I ran for 11 miles because I never ended up doing the half marathon because I got into cocaine. Nothing will keep you out of a marathon like a little bit of, that white, a little bit of Saturn sugar, So I remember just running along the railroad tracks, and I would stop and do a couple bumps, and I did a couple grams and ran 11 miles. And then I jumped in over a fence into some people's backyard, and they were doing marshmallows. It was kind of I don't know if it was maybe a family event, but they were older. This was the older people were still awake, drinking beer and doing marshmallows on a fire. And I hung out with them. I didn't have a shirt on. I was sweating from the run and from the drugs. And I sat there and ate a good deal of marshmallows, high on cocaine, and spent some time with them. And they were LSU Tigers fans, LSU Tigers, and so was I. So we had some common ground there. But anyhow, I've had some experiences here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I'm down here spending time. My family is here. I've been in Louisiana all weekend. I flew into New Orleans. A friend of mine was disc jockeying, playing sounds, hitting, doing the hits at a bar where the people didn't give a fuck. I'll say that. My friend is a good DJ, but the people didn't care, and that was interesting to watch. A man really putting his all into the wheels up there, and seeing people not really wanting to back that ass up. So I was trying to be supportive of him. And I feel like I had some good times with my friends. Then I went to my family's house. We did crawfish. I had 2 crawfish boils this weekend. If you're not familiar with crawfish boiling, crawfish are basically, they're like the Stephen Avery of shrimp. They real gutter. They seem like they, kind of got their GED. They kind of dirt. A lot of them carry a little extra dirt around the neck. They're kind of the Scottish of sea life. They're basically the Scottish of sea life, and they're a little bit nasty. But you boil them up, you put some good seasoning on them, and man, it's a real treat. And people get together, and it's more about the conversation you have while you're eating them. People sit there and you're making sounds around each other, and your eyes are really, you catch a strong hit of a peppercorn to the back of the throat, and that'll light your eyes up. And so we did some of that, man, and just seeing each other be in pain and share their feelings at the same time. That's really what it's about, and that's what brings people together. So I enjoyed that, man. Spent some time with my family. My brother has a really nice family here in Baton Rouge, dude. And to me, it's been really inspiring in my life. I didn't grow up with a family connection. We grew up together. We had four children total, and my mother. My mother worked a lot. She delivered newspapers and baked goods regionally. Newspapers locally and BGs regionally. Dropping cookies and things like that out in the area, out to people in different close states and that. So we, us kids, were around each other, but we didn't have a lot of connection. And I didn't really have a sense of a family. I didn't think a family meant anything, But it's that whole perception has changed a lot as my brother, has 3 children now, and watching him create a family, has really kind of inspired me to maybe one day be able to do it. I have a lot of fear surrounding that, it just feels like a ton of responsibility already, even though I'm not even near there, but it just makes me a little nervous, man, just to know if I can, show up every day for my family. You got to wake up, not just for yourself, and I have been in most of my life, I've been just selfish. I think about myself. I thought about myself mostly. Most of my life I've spent thinking about me. And I think a lot of that reason is when I think back on my life, I've been selfish because I was scared, man. To be honest with you, I was scared that nobody else was thinking about me. So one of the reasons I really believe that I did think about only me was because in my heart I thought if I wasn't thinking about me, that nobody was. And thinking, realizing that now, and I'm not in that place now. I don't feel like, I've been, trying to, get help and get past some of those childhood ideas and thought processes, so I can grow up. But that's a tough one to realize, when I start to really realize that, I was selfish out of the fear that if I wasn't thinking about me, that nobody was. It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad to think that I went through a lot of my childhood that way, and my young adulthood that way. But I'm happy to feel that I'm not in that place anymore. And I'm happy to share that, to share just some of those thoughts now, and let you guys know what I went through, man. But my brother has 3 beautiful children. One of them just learning to walk. And this little baby is, she's a tall baby. I don't know how old that is. I haven't spent a lot of time around babies because I'm not a pervert or I'm not a pedophile. I babysat overnight. I have 2 nieces that are older, 9 and 7, and I babysat them overnight multiple times, 0 instances or desires. But this baby is a tall baby. I can't even, maybe 2.5 feet tall. I don't know how tall that is really, but anyway, and she's just learning to walk, and she got big legs on her. She got real hardy in in the and kind of in the ass and in the glutes and front leg ass, whatever that area is. That's kind of the top of your legs, but not your ass yet. Your leg, basically your leg ass. But watching her walk, it's like kind of like I don't know if you ever seen a big girl eat a snow cone in the rain, but that's kind of sexy. No, I don't know if you've ever seen a kind of a hardier girl, maybe I don't know if you've ever seen kind of a thicker girl get off of a tilt-a-whirl or a gravitron at the fair. And these are some rides that I referenced last week, but I don't know if you've ever seen a big girl get off of a fair, a dizzy whirler or one of those tilt-a-whirl rides, and not have her senses about her and kind of wobble and kind of lean with it, rock with it on accident. But that's what it's like watching this baby learn to walk. It's like a big girl that just got off of a tilt-a-whirl, and it's funny, it's cute, and it's funny to watch. And it's interesting too when a baby's learning to walk or when they take their first steps, everybody cares. Everybody's like, oh, she's walking. She's walking. This bitch is out trotting. This bitch is trotting. But it's crazy that the rest of your life you walk and nobody gives a fuck, dude. Like it's not like my mom texts me again 15 or 30 years later and is like, are you still walking? How's it going? Or your grandmother calls like, good to see you. I was there for your first couple ones. Are you still using your legs? Nobody gives a fuck the more you walk. But it's just interesting how everybody gives a fuck when you first start walking. But the more you walk, people give less fucks for your ability to do leg work. Anyhow, man, it's been a joy to be around my family and to be inspired by my own brother, to be able to create a family of my own one day. I have a lot of apprehension surrounding that, but I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful to be able, to continually, surprise myself with who I can be. And that's one thing that I think is neat about Easter, man. It's about a rebirth, dude. Jesus struck back, bruh. Whether you think he was a savior, whether you think he was just a early hippie, or whether you think he was just a straight up magician. I mean, he could have been a David Blaine, bruh, But either way, the dude inspired people. And either way, he struck back. A lot of people thought he ghosted, and then he literally ghosted them, bruh. Showed back up, And I like ghosts, dude. As a matter of fact, I love ghosts, bruh. I love ghosts. I've always loved ghosts. And I mean, they busted a man in our town trying to be a ghost. I've told you guys about that before. They busted a man running a motel hotel, and he was trying to be a ghost, and they busted him. And I was infatuated with ghosts since I was a child. Love ghosts. Always love ghosts. I love ghosts pretty much. And that's like Jesus struck back, man. And that's what a lot of stories in life are about. Everybody thinking you're down and out, and then you roll away to rock in front of the cave like JC's, he hit him, and you pop back out. And I hope that, that I continue in my life to be kind of reborn into new ideas, and things that I'm afraid of at one point, that I'm amazed at how I get reborn into a new mindset that I'm not afraid anymore. And that's one cool thing about getting older. I know some of you guys have dropped some calls onto the hotline about, being scared and being in your early 20s and not knowing direction and stuff like that. Bro, just find a little bit of faith. It doesn't have to be in a specific religion, but it can be in a higher power of any higher power you create. And just have some faith that things will be revealed to you. A new mindset can be revealed to you, and you can strike back, dude. You can Jesus a little, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Lean with it, rock with it, bruh. Sometimes you don't got your legs, but then that tilt-a-whirl, that tilt-a-whirl fever wears off of a big girl, and she out trotting now. you know. Now she's out with her girls, you know, and they out there trotting and drinking liquor. So I'm just happy to continually be amazed and have new ideas reborn into my mind, man. And happy Easter on that note, dude, to everybody. You know, I watched some kids look for eggs and do all of that, and they were fighting over the eggs, and, you know, some people got very totalitarian. I was at an Easter egg hunt on Saturday, and this was interesting. We hit all the eggs for the kids, for the children, and then we go back out there a little while later. One of the neighbors, I guess, who was probably an alcoholic, had come over, opened up half the eggs in the yard, dude, eating some candies, leave wrappers about, and just jetted, bro. Just jetted. I mean, that's some... Who does that? Who wanders into a children's Easter egg hunt, liquored up, snacks out on half them huevos and jets, bro? Knowing that this shit is for children? Dude, man. You know, if I got one request for the Jesus Christ hotline, it is to fire some lightning at that little devil, okay? Because that's no way to behave, dude. I mean, I've made some poor choices, but that is just straight up gutter. Eating just out the that's dark. That's the dark arts. Let's crack into some news, man. Did you know that Emma Morano has left the earth? She was alive for 117 years old. She was the last human that was born in the 1800s that was still alive, and she's gone. She just passed away, I believe, this past weekend, and she accredits her longevity on this planet to raw eggs and cookies and to getting out of an abusive marriage. And that's... You know, we can all be in some abusive relationships, you know. I mean, I've been emotionally abusive in relationships that I've been in, you know, and I feel lucky that some of them gals ain't in the relationship with me anymore. So that's, you know, I can associate with that. But that's what she accredits her 117 years to. So if you're cooking your eggs, dude, you might want to change that up. If you vegan or if you're non-cookie-tarian, you might want to cookie up. And if you're in an abusive relationship, dude, you might want to take those boxing gloves off and step outside of it, bro. You could live to 117. I don't know if I want to live that old, bro. You know, at that point, because here's the thing, even your own kids have probably died. So you're sitting there talking to people who you fucking don't... There's no way you could know any of them or what they're talking about. I mean, every moment of your life must feel like you're at the DMV. You know, you're just kind of waiting for shit, and you don't really know who else is fucking around, and you're 100 and something years old. But kudos to her, man. Emma Morano, an Italian lady, 117 years old. I'm going to drop some dates on you guys. I'm going to get into a few calls. I'm not making this a long cast tonight because it's Easter, and I want to get some rest, and I got to fly back to Los Angeles in the morning. I'm going to let you guys know I'll be at the Punchline in Sacramento this weekend. That's April 21st through 23rd. I will be in Tampa. That's May 25th through 28th at Side Splitters. I'll be in Pittsburgh at the Pittsburgh Improv June 1st through June 4th. I will be at Gotham Comedy Club in New York City June 23rd through 24th. And then we got a new show that we're announcing where tickets will go on sale, I believe, next week or in a week. And that's going to be in a small town of Wyoming, Illinois. And that's going to be July 30th. Actually, no, that's going to be June 30th. I'm sorry, June 30th. That's going to be a fundraiser that we're doing in that town, so I'm excited. But that's what's going on, man, and I'm happy you guys are here with me. I hope your Easter was great, and we're going to get into to a couple of calls so I can go to bed, honestly, man. All right, man. I'm tired as a damn Amish birth canal, guys. So let's crack into these questions. Here we go. This is from Montana, America. Fella right here.
Theo, this is Brandon from Billings, Montana. I am calling because I wanted to get some advice.
Billings, Montana. I actually semi-witnessed a man jump out of a window, die to his death. He landed on a Starbucks, actually, in Billings. And you know what? I think the Starbucks even stayed open. But anyway, thank you for calling, Brandon. Onward.
How to get my wife to start giving me some more head. I mean, I do things in return from her, or return to her. I go down on her. I even eat that little asshole.
Okay. Wow, buddy. If you're eating that little beehole, man, if you're snacking on that balloon knot back there, I think you got to use a washcloth first. I'm just going to throw that out there. You want some more head from the lady. All right, onward.
But I get a little half-ass blowjobs. She complains about her jaw. You know, those kind of things. Give me some advice. Love to hear back.
All right, man. All right, appreciate you calling. Blowjob ailment, you got issues here. Well, first, you know, this reminds me, actually, I met a gal one time at a casino, and we kept in touch, and then she came to visit. And before she came in town, she'd had some type of surgery, and she'd broken her jaw right before she came to visit me. And she couldn't open her mouth all the way. So if we tried to do some oral sex, I kind of had to really kind of feed my penis in there a little bit and go from there. So I guess I have had some experience. You know, I can share that I've had some experience with some issues there. Kind of had to baby bird it in there a little bit into this gal's mouth, this Canadian gal. And that was really pretty wild. She also had fake hair that was kind of cheaply made. Could have been made in China, and it kind of fell out around the house a bit, and that was alarming. But if you got an issue with the wife not doing it, man, first of all, in some places it's not even allowed. So you can find some gratitude there that even bad blowjobs are allowed apparently where you live. So that's good. You could maybe leave some things around the house. You could hide a couple cucumbers around the house, or maybe get a sign, says blowjobs are welcome, or you really want to do something, dude, be brave. Why don't you get her maybe a strap on, or, external penis attachment, and you give her one, fire up on a little piece of rubber candy coming off of a belt that's around her waist, and maybe show her exactly what you want. Because if you're down there really doing some carnal work, then it does seem like you don't deserve it, but it seems like you want to be rewarded. So maybe that's something you could do, man. I think a blowjob's nicer as you get older, because it just it's a different type of touch, and it's exciting to a man to see that and to be a part of it. Part of the blowjob is just seeing it occur, and that's really maybe what you're wanting to see. But I commend you for sticking it out with your wife and, wanting to figure it out and not resorting to getting external blowjobs or jerking off into fake mouths. You can buy a lot of these fake mouths on the internet, and I don't recommend that. I like the way you're keeping it there within the family unit. If I am talking about family this evening, and blowjobbing going to get you a family, that's for sure. You're going to have to go guts on that. You're going to have to get up in the guts if you want to family up. But if you're just looking to get a little more head, I would suggest, leaving some longevity type vegetables, cucumbers, some eggplants, that's the new emoji there. So maybe hide an eggplant in the bed and see how that, what that starts as. Get a sign, maybe graffiti your house, dude. Hire a couple of, dark artists to maybe write, "They ain't sucking dick around here," or something on garage one morning. Maybe just even start the conversation. You can start it externally by having some local ne'er-do-wells help out. Now, Montana, you want to keep her hydrated because that also is the kind of country where you can get dehydrated pretty quickly. But once you call us back maybe in a couple weeks and see, let us know how that's going and if any of these suggestions are helping out. But you want to create the conversation. You want to make it a comfortable conversation that you guys can have together. And just let her know you enjoy it. Let her know you enjoy it. I would maybe send her a card that says, thank you for the blowjobs you give. And maybe that'll just inspire her to want to do more. Get her one of those blowjob classes, or there's probably videos on the internet, YouTube links you could send her, but sending a lady a link is it's not very classy. I'd get her an actual instructional course. They got some ladies that do lectures and stuff, and even gay men, that do lectures. Or maybe introduce her to some gay men. I mean, they do blowjobs, and maybe they could help inspire her. So I'm going to say good luck with that right there. Moving on.
What's up, Theo, man? My name's John. Big fan of the podcast, dude.
Thank you, John. Thank you for listening, man. I do appreciate it. Continue.
Yeah, I had a question for you. You've mentioned, I think in your act and in several of your podcasts, that your brother tried to, have sex with you when you were a kid. And you also...
Yes, I'm going to say yes to that. My brother, developed this heavy desire to do sex with me when we were children. It was kind of... he realized I kind of had a hole in my butt, and he got early onset erections. I've discussed that before. Onward.
Also mentioned, I think a couple months ago in your podcast that you were out visiting him and his family. And
I am. I'm at their home now. I'm actually recording this at midnight, right under he and his wife's room. So I guess this is interesting. Let's hear more.
I'm just thinking, is that something that is addressed? You guys ever talk about that? What does his wife think about that? I just find it pretty strange that he tried to do that to you as a kid, and it seems like that would create issue for later on in life, but it seems that you guys are pretty close, so I'm just wondering how you guys go about that.
Well, I'll stop it there and just say that, I think we had tougher things to deal with. There was, it was a tough neighborhood, and in hindsight, it was one of the few things that kind of brought us together as children. Sadly, it's one of the few memories we have as young children where we spent time together, was me really hiding my butt from him. And it is very strange. I agree. Do we discuss it now? Here, you're almost done. Let me finish up this question.
All right, man. Keep up the good work. Love the podcast. I'm going to come see you out in Sacramento.
Oh, good.
April 23rd, I believe. Looking forward to it.
Yes, you are, man. That's this weekend. I'm excited about that. Do we address it? We have. We've discussed it. There's been forgiveness offered and forgiveness accepted on both sides. And also just an understanding that we were children. I have some nephews from a different family, from kind of a surrogate family, and I walked in on two of those young fellas nude in the bed one time, just laying on top of each other's bodies, and they weren't gay children. They were just, young children, and they had a lot of feelings in their skin at the moment, and their bodies just feel fancy to each other when you're young and you don't know anything, We had a boy in our town who used to kind of put his dick in the ground, and that was bizarre, and you'd see him a lot outside, always just laying on the ground, and you knew what he was doing. He was doing kind of dicking down in the earth a little, and that was just him being young. And so my brother and I have discussed that. It is funny sometimes. I'll see, his kids kind of fighting or slapping each other on the butt, and I'll kind of nudge them a little, and that'll take us back to those times. A lot of that was because we shared bath time together. A lot of families will do group baths when you're young with the children. And my brother was just weird, man. He got early onset erections, and it's hard I can't penalize him for that. And I really can't penalize myself for being kind of a hot piece of ass when I really, if I want to think about it like that. I had another time where one of my good friends and I were under a blanket kind of feeling each other's rib cages and feeling erotic, and now that's weird when I see him because he doesn't wish to discuss it. And he doesn't want to admit that, we were both sitting under these blankets being erect and just kind of feeling each other's ribs, kind of like a blind man at an instrument. But that occurred, and some of that's just childhood stuff. Does his wife know about it? That's a good question. She's heard some of my comedy where I do talk about it. I don't know if she's heard that bit yet or not. And if he comes to me and says that she wants to discuss it with me, I am open to discuss it. It's not some stuff sometimes that I want to relive because I just realize that we can't go back in time and undo some of that young attraction. And in a way, I kind of, I'm not grateful for it because it was hectic, dude. Knowing that, it was like a game of freeze tag that was going to cost you really some, whatever joy you currently kind of held in your ass as a child, or comfort, whatever. I was worried it was going to cost me some comfort because my brother really, he came at me with that erection. And it just was what it was, man. We've kind of moved past it. I appreciate you asking about it because, I do think it is interesting. And I think a lot of children, a lot of people now when they were children had some things like that occur. One of my sisters used to kind of do little strip teases and we were waiting in the car when my dad would go inside to, usually he would go get us a sack of pie slices from the Burger King. And one of my sisters would kind of do some light erotic dancing sometimes in the back of his car. And that shit was, I don't know what the hell it was, but in hindsight, it was kind of weird and alarming, I guess. But at the time, it was just children. And, I just look at it as something that kind of, we did and we were kids and we didn't know. If he tried it now, that'd be a bigger discussion, And I don't think we'll resort to that unless, the damn world's about to end or unless, he's married now and we don't have really a lot of those feelings for each other, anything like that. Our feelings now are just platonic, familial. And I'm grateful that we went through that in a way so that if he sees that with his kids, he kind of knows how to navigate it. So we kind of took that bullet for our family, I think. But I appreciate you asking about it, man. We got one more question here.
Hey, what's up, Theo? My name is Zane. I live not too far from you. I live up here in Ontario, California.
Ontario, California. They have a comedy club out there, Ontario Improv, where I don't perform that much, Zane, but maybe in the future. Thanks for calling, bud. Onward.
And I just got done listening to this latest episode. You said you were going to take some calls on family life.
Yes, sir.
Me and my lady, we've been together for 11 years. She's going to be 2 this May. And
okay, you might not have been able to heard that there. It cut out. He has a child now that's going to be 2 this May. He and his wife, who have been together for 11 years. Onward, Zane.
I just want to tell you, man, having a child and working for a family, kids aren't easy, but they're not as hard as everybody makes it seem. And, I work hard. I've been, I've worked harder now since she's been born than I've ever worked, but, it's all worth it. And, you seem like a good dude, and I wish you nothing but the best. I hope you find what you're looking for. And if you're thinking of starting a family, I think, you'd be great at it. all they need is a little bit of love and some diapers and food. You know what I mean? And take care and good luck, man. Later.
Man, thank you for that call, dude. And I know that wasn't a question that he was asking, really. It was just a statement. But I wanted to share that because I thought that was just a nice call. It was a call of encouragement. And I need those, I'm not saying call and encourage me or, but I do get some calls that are just supportive. And I want to say I appreciate that, man. And this call kind of touched me a little bit because you can just hear in his voice, that he cares, that he, you could hear some pride when he talks about showing up. He's got a 2-year-old little girl. I mean, that's beautiful. I don't know if you've ever, just spent time around a 2-year-old little girl, but I mean, it's about the sweetest thing when they're behaving, about the sweetest thing you can imagine. And just to hear this man, I'm married for 11 years and he's got a 2-year-old girl, and it inspires him to work hard and to keep going. And that's cool, man. It's cool to hear. I think partially because, I don't know how my dad felt about me. My dad was 70 when I was born, and he was 86 when he died. And I never, we just never got to have those conversations. By the time I was old enough to ask him what it was like to be a dad or some of the joys that he had when he was around me as a child, he was gone. So it's just nice to hear just a man excited about his family. We see all this stuff about how families don't work and how marriages don't work. But what we don't hear about sometimes is just, we don't hear a man say that he enjoys it and that it's hard work, but that it brings him some of the greatest joys of his life. And I think about it, and I think about starting a family now. I never thought about it before, dude. And that's been one of the gifts of me over the past 9 months of not drinking and partying for me has been having time to reflect and having time to listen to other people and really hear other people and hear some of the joy and hear some of the trouble that they go through and to kind of learn from it or see how some of those experiences would feel in my own life. And starting a family is something that I've thought a lot about. It's scary to me. It's scary to me to not think about myself sometimes, to think about that, to imagine that the part of my life where just me and my joy is over, and that it's selfish to think that I don't want to, provide or create a world for someone else because I'm not done creating my own world. And that's okay, but at some point I have to start to let that teeter-totter start to tip, if I want to have a family. And this year I've started to feel like I would like to, and it's scary. It's scary to think about what kind of dad I would be. After, would I be able to even be married for 11 years? Dude, that sounds, I haven't been in a relationship in 10 years, because of commitment issues that I have and stuff. And so just to hear, that there's somebody out there that's doing it and that is, you can hear the joy in his voice. It's inspiring to me, man, because I think families are important. If I could go back in time and have anything, and my life's been filled with a lot of unique experiences, man. I've been really, really blessed. I've been really graced. I've had a lot of grace in my life. But if I could have almost anything, when I really think about it, it would be to go back and have just a childhood where I felt loved, because I didn't have that. I had a lot of supplementary love that came from families that took me in. And I love my mother and I love my father. And I think they both did what they could for sure. And no one will ever replace my mother or father, But for some reason as a child, I just did not feel loved. And it's just really nice to hear somebody, that's doing that for their child and to know that that child has a chance to grow up in that environment. So I guess I just wanted to kind of play that and share that and just let that thought be out there. And to inspire anybody else that's thinking about it, you know, if you're struggling or if you feel like somebody else needs inspiration in that realm, just fucking share it with them, man. You know, don't be afraid to drop your joy on other people. A lot of my life, for some reason, I've even felt scared to feel joy. You know, I think because I felt so much misery or pain as a child, and I felt so insecure and so just low self-worth, that when joy came around, the possibility of even telling somebody else that I felt good, that was scary to me. And sometimes it still is, man. Sometimes it's still scary to let people know that I feel good, you know, when I do. And that's a new thing for me, is learning to let people know that I feel okay. Because for a lot of my life, the only thing that I knew how to feel and to navigate was that I didn't feel okay, you know. So that's another thing, man, where I'm kind of being a little bit reborn right there in that space where if you'd asked me a year ago, dude, do you think, you know, you'll have, you know, would you be in a year from now, do you think you'll be in a space where you know, will have days where you feel okay all day? I probably would have said no, you know. But the last year of my life's been kind of monumental. And the fact that I'm feeling some opportunities to have some of my feelings be reborn and have some just new ideas of happiness revealed to me. And a lot of that's happening through other people just sharing their joy and me being able to actually hear it and feel it. So anyhow, thanks for calling in. We got some other calls. I'll get to them next week, man. You know, but thank you, Zane. Thank you, Blowjob and Billings. And thanks for asking about the sexuality with my brother. And, you know, part of it's, you know, it's funny to think about the times we had. I mean, that was, you want to talk about hide and seek, dude. That was about a year and a half of hide and seek that was full throttle, dude. That's Fast and Furious. That's the Tokyo Drift of hide and seek when your brother's trying to do sex to you in the house. I'm going to take us out this evening on a song here. This is Victory Theme. That's all I know about this. I want to thank you guys for joining me on this past weekend. Continue to hit the hotline. I'll post the number at the bottom of the YouTubes. This will be on iTunes and then on YouTube's later in the day on Monday. Happy Easter. I hope it was a good one for everybody. I really do. And I appreciate you guys so much for just kind of going on this journey with me and learning as we go. You know, damn, boy, I'll say this, dude. Nobody could run 11 miles on a couple grams of cocaine like your boy right here. All right? Let's take us out, man. That's like a little bit of Rocky music right there. You feel that? It's a victory theme, bruh. It's a victory theme. Because anything can happen, man. You got to sometimes embrace the idea of possibility. That's what I'm learning. You know, and maybe next week I want to kill myself, but this week I don't. And this week I'm going to take on my day and think that anything is possible. Because a lot of times I would take my days like, oh, I know what today's going to be like. This is going to suck, you know. Somebody's going to shit in my car, you know. Or, you know, somebody's going to kill a bird, you know, and leave it on my yard. But if I wake up thinking, I don't know what's going to happen today. Something new could happen. I could meet somebody new. I could think something new. I could find a new revelation in my life or in my heart, dude. I know this shit sounds a little bit gay as fuck, dude, a little bit GAF, but dude, sometimes you got to embrace it. Sometimes you got to embrace the possibility that anything could happen. Because that possibility, man. Imagine waking up, just being like, you know what? I don't know what's going to happen today. That's all you got to do to create possibility. Just be willing to not know. And I'm not preaching at you, man. I'm also just trying to remind myself to do that tomorrow, and to open myself up to possibility, because I need it, man. I need to hear this. I need to hear myself talk. That's really just kind of sometimes what I'm doing right here. But I'm grateful for you guys, man. You guys have a wonderful week. Happy Easter, bruh. Enjoy it. Get to it. Get at it. Be good, or be good at it. But take care of yourself, man, and be good to yourself. Once you try that, I bet you deserve it, man. You guys be swell, bruh. I'm out.